We label people so easily, but I hope this movie encourages people to like take a step back and think, hey, maybe I don't need to do that. Maybe I can treat people like humans.
Congrats on this movie. I have to admit I watched it twice in a row because I loved it.
Yeah, that's so good.
I thought the animation was just so brilliant. I loved watching it.
I agree.
How did you react to seeing your character for the first time? How does that moment go?
I was very, very happy because I was very adamant on her looking a little bit like me.
I noticed
having
that.
Very extreme. Did you notice that? That makes me so happy. But having very extreme facial expressions and the long hair, and so I saw her relatively late. I saw her almost, I think, my last session or my second last session, and so it was so heartwarming. And I think she's adorable and perfect and exactly what I wanted her to look like.
I got to see my character before we started shooting because they already had sketches of her. So I knew what she was going to look like, which was part of the draw because she was just so cute. And I was like, I'm going to be this little cutie fox with an eyebrow ring. It's cool to see what kind of sort of mannerisms they put into the character because they do pull from your own motions because they videotape you while you're recording. And I thought that was I loved seeing those details.
Was there anything specific that you're like, oh, that was 100% me. I was doing that in the studio? Probably the backflips.
Yeah, that you did.
You know what? Actually, the dancing because the
Really?
Yeah, the woman who choreographed it, Susie, she works with Sam Rockwell all the time. She's like his movement person. And she called me and we talked about the dance. And Sam and I actually wanted to get together and dance together, but our schedules never aligned. But so I sent Susie a video of me just like free dancing because she wanted to incorporate my movement in it. And there are definitely moves in the dance that I'm like, I 100% did that in the free dance. So that's cool to know that was like actively incorporated.
That's really cool because I feel like a lot of times too when I talk to people that did an animated, they're like, well, I did it by myself. Like I didn't really, but it seems like they tried to get you all in studio together as much as they could.
They tried-ish. COVID.
I was completely alone. I never did it with anyone else minus Pierre. I often didn't even leave my house. I just did it in the sound booth in my house. You did it virtually sometimes.
I did it virtually with Sam a couple of times. And then also Sam had somebody, his friend, who would also sometimes read for him when Sam couldn't. So I did that with him too a few times and then besides that with just Pierre. But Sam and Mark, I think, had actual studio time together, if I'm not mistaken.
I was asking them too. I was like, what's the most like surprisingly great thing about doing animation? And Mark Maron was like, my commute. It was 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Amazing.
You had none.
I had none. I did this in my PJs almost every session.
It's a great thing about the Zoom interviews, just sweatpants on the bottom, you know? What is your favorite takeaway or lesson in The Bad Guys?
I think my favorite takeaway is that other people don't really get to write your story. You write your own narrative around who you want to be in the world, and people can have their expectations or their ideas of who you are, but ultimately you are your own determiner. And so I like that a lot, and that currently I think is resonating in my own life. So
yeah, I agree. I think it's a really timely film because it really encourages people to think critically and think like, okay, well, who do I think is a bad guy? Why do I think that? Where am I getting this information from? And who gets to decide that?
Yeah.
And I think, especially on the internet these days, we label people so easily. But I hope this movie encourages people to like take a step back and think, hey, maybe I don't need to do that. Maybe I can treat people like humans.
Yeah, I love that.
Or animals.
Which of the bad guys would you most want to go out on the town with?
Ooh, Diane. Diane is the coolest.
She is the coolest.
So cool. I want to dance with her.
Cool.
I feel like we would have a blast. A blast.
Hot. Honestly, out to town, like to party with Piranha. Like he seemed kind of crazy.
Word.
I feel like he would know where to go.
Yeah, Shark is also.
Yeah, Shark.
I wouldn't want to take Snake.
Shark, I feel like I want to go to a lounge too and like have a little martini with.
That's fair.
Snake would be just in a bad mood. Honestly, Wolf would probably know like the cool hidden spot.
And then jazz.
Webbs doesn't go out.
Yeah.
Webbs is like hacking.
Yeah, Piranha would be good.
Yeah,
Piranha would get in trouble.
Yeah, Piranha would that's true. Piranha might get us all arrested.
Well, I got to start wrapping, but Zazie, I know it's early days, but how did you feel about the announcement of Deadpool 3 helmed by Sean Levy? And are we getting my girl Domino back?
I'm so excited. I don't know. You tell me. I am so excited. I am crossing my fingers, hoping that Domino will be a part of this. And if not, that's also all good. But it was just such a great crew, such a great team. I just love Deadpool. I love Domino so much. Like, I don't know, if it's not this, maybe I'll do my own Domino Origins or something like that. I would love to do something in that space and face that fear, honestly. So, yeah, I'm excited, but we'll see what happens.
I feel like you and David would do like a kick-ass Domino series too.
I would love. That would be so.
We're gonna manifest it. It's happening.
Yeah, it's happening.
It's happening.
Right, it's happened.
It's happened.
Done. In the future, it's happened.
Thank you all so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks. Take care.
Bye.